My name's Deborah Molodowski, and I'm the director and the founder of Amadeus Conservatory of Music and Theater. At Amadeus, we have a lot of programs because we get a lot of students with a lot of different interests. We have jazz ensembles, we have chamber music, we have orchestras at times. We offer an early childhood class, wonderful musical theater program. Every fall, we do a musical. We also have a wonderful summer camp oriented towards musical theater because in the summer, the kids, they want to hang loose and have fun. The primary program that we have here is private lessons because we believe that one-on-one instruction for instrumental music or for voice is really, really important. What we offer here has very little to do with me as the director of the school. It has everything to do with the teachers who are going to be teaching these students.
The teachers are phenomenal. The teachers are all professionals. They work in the industry, they understand the industry, and they're great with the kids.
They don't teach here unless they have an advanced degree from one of the major conservatories in the world. Second, they have to be able to know how to teach.
I think that the two go hand in hand. And there's a crossover. I think that performing helps my teaching and teaching helps my performing.
I think that there's a culture in this school of no compromise. You got to learn it right. You know, the director has been very good at picking those people who have very high level qualifications, but who also teach in a fun, nice way, but don't dumb it down.
I consider myself not as a piano teacher. I consider myself music teacher, first of all. All the technical stuff like scales, theoretical understanding of what's going on in the music just supports our desire to play music. This actually has to be number one priority because first of all it helps children especially to be more involved, not only performance but also in the practicing process.
It's very important for the kids to realize that they can create their own songs, that they have music inside of them. And to cultivate their own individual talents is just a very great joy to me.
All three of my children are very different in the way they learn, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. And things here are taught to the individual child, the way he or she learns.
When we met with the director, Deborah, the first thing she wanted to know is what our needs were. And we had a long discussion until she found the exact perfect teacher, perfect timing, and perfect plan for Danielle, and her success is the proof that Amadeus is a great place. He didn't rush to give her pieces that she could technically do but emotionally was not ready for, and as she developed and matured, he gave her more emotionally, intellectually challenging pieces, not just technically challenging pieces. And I like this slow progress, not to rush to play pieces that you can just technically play, but you may not be ready for them.
The most important thing that we can give to students here is we can help develop their self-esteem. How do we do that? By practicing consistently, they're going to get better on the instrument. They perform in recitals several times a year, some kids 4 times a year.
When you go on stage and you've made 100 people happy because you've created something beautiful, and that's something really special. And for him, he feels like that's his own because he puts in a tremendous amount of work, and it's something that he cherishes for a very, very long time. And I think that's incredibly important for a child's self-confidence.
I take no greater pride than when my children finish a recital. Such pride that they have worked so hard, and that when they do the recitals and people applaud and appreciate the work that they have gone into it, they also take much pride in that.
There's many levels of success stories here. This school is successful when we bring kids in and they end up so happy to come here every week because they are in love with their instrument. That's what we want for them.
Mira's been a student at the Amadeus school since she was 4.5. So all her memories have to do with the music school.
When I was younger, my parents would take me to Avery Fisher Hall to watch the New York Philharmonic perform. And every single time I would look at the horn section and be like, I want to play that way. I want to be there one day.
Deb observed and had spoken to me about the fact that Mira was probably ready for private lessons. And Mira had always wanted to learn the French horn from age 2, don't know why. So when it was time to do the horn, it just seemed logical that I'd come back to Amadeus and say, find me a good horn teacher. And did we luck out?
Now that I've joined Victor Leonti's orchestra, it's a huge honor because this year in May, we performed at Avery Fisher Hall on that very stage, and just getting out there was just a thrill. It was like I'm living up to my dream of sitting on the Avery Fisher Hall stage and playing the horn.
It's another kind of a success story when we have students that are passionate about music and want to try to pursue it as a career, or at least attend a conservatory or a university with a great music department.
I was just sort of a kid with a bit of raw talent, probably 15, 16 years old, a little bit later start than a lot of people get. And I remember the music director telling me, you have a lot of talent. Through Amadeus, I was able to hone it a little bit. I auditioned at a number of conservatories, didn't think I was going to get into any, and managed to get into one of the best ones in the country at the Eastman School of Music.
Got into Eastman, got wonderful grants, and is now singing professionally in opera companies all over the tri-state area.
I've sung internationally in Italy and in London, and it's taken me all over the world and across the country and as far as I wanted to take me.
One of these days soon, I hope that he'll be singing on the Broadway stage, because he loves doing that also.
I owe a great deal to my start here at the Amadeus School.
As a direct result of this school, my son Matthew, who started with very little knowledge of music at all, at about 10 years old, on the guitar, as kind of a whim, studied 2 years of graduate school at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music, which was a high honor. His graduate studies were with the Assad brothers, with one of them, Sergio Assad, who's a world-famous guitarist. He studied with Antigone Goni at Juilliard, who's a world-famous guitarist, directly under Sharon Isman. So the ability to track directly from Amadeus to these wonderful world-class musicians is, I don't know where else you can get that. He's just graduated there last spring. He's doing a number of things with his trio. And they've been playing up and down the West Coast on internet radio shows. They're touring, they've been to Germany. And we really believe it's because of the roots that he got here at Amadeus and the incredible nurturing environment.
We also have hundreds of students who have gone on to Columbia University and Harvard University and NYU, and they're studying something else. They might be studying journalism or business or math.
I think that these skills are very important in enhancing all kinds of learning, be it language type of learning, literary learning, or mathematical learning, or physical coordination learning, or social interaction learning. They all are addressed by musical skills.
Music is a language, and it's the same process of learning French, Italian, Spanish, Russian, German, Hebrew, as it is studying a musical instrument. Every music student I have ever taught gets A+ in math and science. Why? Well, in music, as you start to play the phrase, your mind is going towards harmonic completion. When you have a math equation or a chemistry equation, instead of looking at something discrete, you're moving beyond the discrete to what would the next step be. They're falling in love with music, they're building their self-esteem, they're actually getting smarter through studying music, and they're having fun with it. So these are the things that really, I think, make music education something wonderful for children. In addition to children studying at Amadeus, we have quite a few adult students. Now, these are adults that perhaps years ago they played the piano and they decide they want to play it again. Or years ago they played the violin, but you know what? They always really wanted to play the cello. Well, we can take a beginning cello student. As a matter of fact, we have one here in the school right now who after 1 year is playing Bach cello suites.
Well, I did have some music training when I was young, and I loved music, but it was just so hard to, years go by, you're building a business, you're raising family, you have a career, and finally I said, you know, when I think back to my youth, there was nothing I enjoyed more than being part of music. And it's challenging, but it's fun because it brings back some great memories. Having been to a number of the schools and testing out various teachers in different places, this was the one place where I immediately felt at home.
I've taught at a lot of different places. I would say if I could think of one word that characterizes Amadeus, it's warmth.
Every time we drive through Chappaqua or to Chappaqua, we have a sense of coming home because the Amadeus School is like a home.
We absolutely love this place. I mean, Tova sees Amadeus, and as Deb knows, as home away from home.
It's sort of matched with Debbie's vision. She has created a place that is not just a music school. She's created a place that seeks to bring out the soul of a child, bring out an inner self. That, to me, is the reason why you choose a school.
If students come here, whether they're young children or middle school or high school children or adults, if they learn music and they fall in love with music, then we have been successful, and we've given them the gift that we have wanted to give them. And they'll have this gift the rest of their life.